A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. Boy, do we have a show lined up for you guys today. I got to get myself together here. Nurideen Lindsey. Yes, Nurideen Lindsey, the future NBA star. And we are really excited about this show. We're really excited about today's show. Today's show is something that all of us have to look forward to, because in part because of I think you have probably a prop of Tariq's jersey and the legacy that he left on the basketball court. This is actually they're showing you a prop of his original jersey. It never was washed since the last time. Actually, the last time he wore it, I coached him, and he had illness. He was really in pain, and I think he scored like 20 something points, 25 points or whatever the case is, and we won off of his effort. The Coach's Corner. Hanif Williams, Hanif Abdul Rashid, Coach Neef, whatever you want to call me. We are so excited. The basketball season is underway. Whether you play college, high school, you follow the NBA, you have your own blog, you have your own radio show, whatever the case is, the basketball season is in full swing. We are at the top of the new year, and this is where I kind of I love all sports. I think I'm a fan of all sports. I think that's fair to say that I'm a fan of all sports. But basketball is the patriarch to my family of sports. I love basketball. I'm a basketball coach. I was a player. I hope to get into the gym again soon and move forward. Nurideen Lindsey is up. I want to talk real quick before we get into Nori's segment. I want to talk real quick about the NBA and about the players and about LeBron and about Miami and about different things. I mean, it's clear to me. Everyone has a fan of the player that they like. I'm a fan of Kobe Bryant. He just happens to be the best player in the world. I think when people say the best player in the world, I hear some. I mean, I think we need to really. What do you measure? Because I'm someone who measures championships. I measure championships because, if I'm a owner of a franchise, if I'm an owner of a franchise, and I part of my ownership, my thought process going into owning that franchise is probably wanting to win a championship, not just to have two players on an all-star team. I think it's important to point out that Kobe Bryant is he's the ultimate winner ever since Michael Jordan. And I think if he wins a championship this year, and it looks like he probably will, this year in the 2010-2011 season, that puts him even with Michael Jordan. He surpasses Magic Johnson as far as winning 5 championships. He's tied with Magic Johnson now. I mean, what more other accomplishments? Would you want this guy to have? With that said, I think this is the best NBA season to date. I think I said that last year too, but I think just with the trade and everyone is finally doing what I think is ideal, and that's having the best players as many great players on the team as your salary cap possibly allows. Phil Jackson has just been brilliant in doing that. He's been brilliant in having the best player and the best players around the best player, and he's turned those players, into superstar because his triangle offense and because he's such a motivator. Speaking about Coach Jackson, Phil Jackson, I'm speaking of. he is not a coach like, like Coach K in Duke. Coach K is he's a philosopher. He's a teacher. Phil Jackson is a motivator. With his Zen and his yoga and him telling his players that there's nobody in the world better than us. He's a motivator. And actually, I mimic my style behind Phil Jackson, like motivating my players to play. Phil Jackson gets those players, the Gasols and the Odoms and the Bryants and the Jordans and the Pippins and the Rodmans and the Artests. He gets those great players motivated to outdo what they did the last game. You have a lot of players who have stretches of. I remember when Vince Carter, and if my brother Latif is listening, I think me and him spoke about this some time ago, when Vince Carter was this half man, half amazing, quote unquote, and he came back from the All-Star game and he scored like 50 points in 4 games in a row, and then I don't think after that he averaged like 19.5 points for the rest of the season. What Phil Jackson does is that he allows players to have these long stretches of greatness. And this is what makes Phil Jackson. The NBA needs Phil Jackson. They need the Lakers to be great. They need Kobe Bryant to be great. Because to be honest with you, if they wasn't, the ratings will go down. And that's just a fact. All of the big markets, you need teams to do good in. New York needs the Knicks to do well because it generates money for the entire franchise. Okay? What does that have to do with Nurideen? Because Nuri will be playing in Madison Square Garden next year. He will be playing for St. John's, the Red Storms, for Coach Steve Lavin. He will be on the grand stage in the world's most famous city, the financial capital of the world. He'll be in Madison Square Garden. Hopefully he can bring Spike out there. He's a talent. I had the opportunity of coaching him. I had the opportunity of speaking with him, of knowing his family. He's a pretty cool guy. I don't like when people start anointing players. Rajon Rondo was not the best point guard in the NBA. Darren Williams is. And all the right, Rondo's an all-star and he's a champion but look at this. If you put Darren Williams on the Celtics, it's the same outcome, maybe even more. And you can and even with me saying that, I say, well, how much more better can they get? You put Rondo on the Utah Jazz and it's so in between. Hanif Williams, this is the Coaching Corner.